Hey Lyoko Warriors, it's Kevin here for you for another cool Lyoko episode review. It's gonna be episode 17, titled Amnesia. If I'm not mistaken, this is episode 17. I want to show you something real quick before we start this episode review. Does this not look extra clean for some reason? I was just waiting on the Netflix Cold Lyoko thing, setting up the computer, and then it plays like a little clip from an episode. I don't know why. This just looks extra clean. I don't think it was this clean when I watched this episode. Like this is wild. Look, when Alita pops up, doesn't this look extra clean for no reason? Look at this. Ah, it's too bright. But I don't. It's too bright. But no, I'm serious. Like it looks really clean. I know if I go back and watch the episode. I mean, obviously, it's not disgusting. The animation isn't. That's, but at the same time, it was not that clean. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, this is episode 17 review. Oh yeah, and happy Kolyoko week. This is the week that Kolyoko's first episode ever came out. But it wasn't today, it was actually Thursday. So I'm gonna come out with two episodes this week, which is gonna be kind of tricky. I want to do one on our actually, on the anniversary on September 3rd, but that is a Friday, and I'm gonna see Shang-Chi Friday, so I gotta do a review for that when I get home, whatever time I go see that. Then, Thursday nights, I do the One Piece review. And after that, I do the My Hero one. So that'd be four episodes between 2 days. Because, the One Piece review happens like 4 in the morning. So that's technically Friday. That's the day of. In My Hero. So I'll pass out because I got to stay up that late. Then I got to get right back up and do the Kolyoko one, the opening explain. I got to do Kolyoko. And then right before that, I got to do Shang-Chi. So that's like four episodes in the span of one day going into 2 days. Or like I'm gonna take like maybe a 2 day break. I'm gonna have to take a 2 day break. Cause that at four, that's 2 hour videos. The same she's gonna probably take an hour to review plus one people. Anyway, let's get into it. Anyway, this not the chapter. The episode starts off instantly with Xana taking over a tower, taking over some chemical stuff in the laboratory. Right back into, and this episode is hilarious with the faces. It is hilarious. Anyway, we're not in the laboratory. We're in the science room, and Mrs. Hertz is like, "Does anybody want to answer the question?" And then we see Herb. He raises his hand, and he's like making noises. He goes, "Oh, oh, oh," like he's making like animal noises. And then Jeremy, all he does is this. He just raises one finger up, and then she goes, "Okay, Jeremy." I'm like, I mean, okay, maybe Jeremy Smarter, or that's the boy right there, or you know Herb is acting like a numbskull, making animal noises, raising his hands. He's like, I'm gonna pick Jeremy. Anyway, she asks Jeremy the question. Obviously, he gets it right. And they're talking about these little micro robot things, and she's basically talking about how in the future, when science gets better, they're gonna use these micro robot things to be doctors, so they can go inside your body and fight diseases and stuff. And then she asks, can they be used to like pop pimples and like cure like pop pimples, make your face look better. And Mrs. Hirsch was like, yeah, they can be used for that, but they're probably gonna be used for something more drastic, like maybe a disease or something. Obviously, everybody starts to laugh at her. She gets mad, and she takes the top off, and it's like this gel in here. And we see Xana like put that like bluish gel into the container, and I don't know, like she was like, it hasn't been cleaned thoroughly. There's gel up here. But at the end of the episode, she was saying it like it was no big deal. But I don't know. Anyway, she was like, there's gel in here. Or he makes a joke about how it looks like the grease that Odd puts in his hair every day to have his hair stand straight up. I don't put grease in it. It just grows like this. It literally grows. I cut the ends off for it so it can be like patted down, so it can be like the middle, nice and smooth. I'll pick it the next day. It's like this, or it would just gradually grow, and I haven't taken it. It just gradually grow. Like these end pieces just grow like this. My hair just grows like that. I don't know why. Anyway, Odd, obviously Odd, he thinks, oh, you're funny. So Oric is looking at the little micro robot things in the gel after he scoops them up. Odd grabs his head and pushes his head into it, and it gets all over his nose. Odd Oric wipes it off. Mr. Herb yells at him to stop playing around, and then we cut outside. to the squad, just chilling on a tree. Just chilling on a tree. Nice and cool, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, everybody's just chilling outside talking. Jeremy's like, wow, these little micro robot things are amazing. I'm gonna have to go into that field. And Yumi's like, well, yeah, it's hard enough doing basic stuff. I'm not doing nothing micro. And then Odd asks for Orange candy bar. And Orange like, oh yeah, no problem. And he just shoves it right into his head. He was like, told you I get your back. Obviously, they start laughing. Odd wipes it off. And Orange starts to laugh, but then he starts to feel a sharp pain in his head. And he's like yelling and screaming. And they're like, yo, Orange, you okay? You okay? And then Jim, we see Jim like in the pan outside, like I just saw he was in the distance. And he hears Orange scream, and everybody around him. Well, not everybody, you know, Orange. I mean, you know, Odd, Jeremy, around him, like, hey, you good? Obviously, Jim is like, okay, I'll take him to the infirmary. The infirmary. Don't worry, I got this. He picks him up, goes to the infirmary, and then we see Sissy. She made this weird looking face. Weird looking face. I don't know how someone can be like this. Like this episode, I'm like. Seeing what Sissy does, but like just like the stuff she does in general, it's like how can someone be like this? Anyways, she sees like Jim take Oric to the infirmary, and everybody else, you know, everybody's like, I wonder what's wrong with him. He seemed fine this morning. Hope he's okay. And Sissy, she instantly looks at them like, like she's scheming already. Like she sees a boy that she likes in pain, suffering. Jim is taking him to the infirmary, and she's like already scheming. Ridiculous, man. this is ridiculous. And then we cut to the infirmary. Oric's in there, and that's her name, Dorothy. Well, I don't know her, like, Miss Dorothy. Anyway, she's checking on Oric, and as soon as he goes to walk out the door, is Sissy already there, trying to do something. Anyway, Dorothy likes Sissy and because Sissy says, "That's Oric. I'm Oric's best friend." And she believes her, and she lets him right in. Then she walks over to Oric and just starts to like rub his head. I mean, sorry, I was gonna smack. Starts to like rub his head, and she's like, "Wow, you look so handsome on your sleep." I was like, "Who is this down bad? What are you doing?" Like he's clearly in pain, or like, okay, maybe she obviously she doesn't know what's going on, but she, I don't know. Like, look, if I had a crush. And she goes to the infirmary or like the school nurse because of something. Like I mean, since he wasn't that too far away, so you heard her / you heard him screaming in pain. He's in the infirmary, passed out. I mean, yeah, you know, I'll go check up on him. You know, I'll go check up, sit down, see if they're doing good. I'm not gonna start going, you know, oh, you look so nice. Like, yo, that's creepy. A girl doing that or a boy doing that. Like, what are you doing? That is borderline, maybe over the line, possibly, maybe a lot. Creepy. And obviously rubbing this man's face while he's trying to sleep, he wakes up and he's like, what's going on? He was like, who are you? She's like, I'm Sissy. You good? And he was like, yeah. Who am I? Where am I? The infirmary. What's an infirmary? She was like, yo, Oric. You don't remember? Who are you? And my bad. He says, where am I? Sissy goes, the infirmary. Infirmary? What infirmary? Then he walks over to the mirror in the little sink inside the room, and she was like, no. Then he was like, who am I? She was like, you're Oric. And he was like, who are you? She was like, I'm Sissy. Sissy, your sweetheart. And then he's like, huh? And he grabs his head again, and he starts to wail in pain. And then we get flashes of like just flashbacks, like like the Browners flashback type of thing they always do in shows. And we get a couple flashbacks of just some previous episodes while they're talking. And then he says something in his flashback, and he says it in real time. Like, what's it? Oh, yeah, like, Sissy, like, in the flashback, Sissy's like, don't you want to date me? And then he's like, of course, in the flashback. Then in real time, he's like, not. Of course not. I don't want to date anyone like you. And then, like, that happens, like, two or three more times. And Sissy is looking at him like, you know, what's going on? Then he looks up, and she's like, you know what, let's go outside, get some fresh air. And while they open the door, Dorothy is there, and she just licks them out. Like, cause like she was like, oh, Orc, you look like you're doing okay. You wanna? And then she's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just take them outside, get some fresh air, and they just run outside. And then while they're running outside, Jim, he's carrying another girl. Well, not another girl, but he's carrying a girl into the infirmary. And he's like, what's going on? This is an epidemic or something. And brings her to Dorothy. We cut back outside to every. So we cut back outside the odd saying that man's in a row gets me confused. Odd, Yumi, and Jeremy at the same tree trying to figure out what's going on. And while they pass them, Sissy goes, those three over there, they're your worst enemies. Or obviously, or it's like, why? What's wrong with them? You don't like them. And then Odd, he sees them in the distance. He's like, huh? Yo, look, it's Oric. Why is he with Sissy? Yeah, what's going on here? And Odd walks over to Oric and he's like, hey Oric, buddy, how you doing? Oric passes out, tells him to get away from him. We're not friends. He's like, hey, what's the big idea? What's going on? She's like, hey, he don't want to talk to y'all. And he pulls him over. And then Jeremy, he goes like, maybe it's a visa. But I don't know. Like he didn't like hit his head or nothing like that. Yeah, it's kind of strange. Then he's hanging out with Sissy. This isn't right. And then Sissy brings Oric over to Nicholas and Herb. And she was like, these are your two best friends. And Nicholas and Herb is looking really confused, obviously. They're like, they're like, what? Like you look at each other like, what? And then Sissy goes, he forgets some things. You have to remind him, wink. And it zooms in on her face so hard. I'm like, yo, back up from the screen. She's so hard up on the screen. She looks like a monster. Look at this. You have to remind him. And she gets that close up on the screen. I'm like, yo, back up. Back up. And it don't say anything. Like, this is the only time we see him, and it don't say anything. Like, after this, Oric goes, hey, I'm kind of thirsty. And he grabs Herb's drinks some of his soda. And then Cece goes, you know what, let's go sit down on a bench in the forest. And then he gives the drink back. And then Herb, Nicholas just look at each other again, kind of confused, like, and he drinks his soda. It's just kind of nasty because, Herb was drinking it, Oric grabbed it, he drunk it, and then as soon as he gave it back, he was like this, like there was nothing in there. Then it cuts to him just drinking it again. Okay. Anyway, Yumi and Odd, they go this way to go check on the equipment in the infirmary. Not the infirmary. No, yeah, they go to the infirmary to see what happened to Oric. While Odd, he goes spies on Oric. And Sissy just chilling. Sissy gives him a cookie. They're just talking. I think there's a funny face moment here, but I gotta keep looking at you guys. I don't want to keep doing this. So let me. Yeah, here it is. I almost passed this. Almost. Thank goodness I remember this. Anyway, we cut to Sissy and Oric talking on the bench. Sissy's like, how does it feel being with the prettiest girl in school? Oric's like, I don't really feel anything. You're not really my type. And then she says something else, and then Oric does this. You see, look at this. You see his face? It was a still frame, and you only saw his eyes move from this side to this side. That had me dying. I had to rewind it like 2 times when I first watched it. It was hilarious. I forgot. She said sub. He was like, let me get a straight face. He was like, I keep moving my face, but he didn't move his head at all. He was like, shut up. Like, why are you talking? Obviously Sissy gets kind of mad, and then before they could really say anything else, Odd, he's like, he didn't, I don't know, like he's behind a tree, like a few feet behind him. He didn't really make any noise, but somehow Oric heard him, turned around as fast as Odd, tells him to get out of here before he does something, and his fist clenches up. Obviously Odd is like, Oric, yo, calm down, it's me, your buddy Odd, it's me. Then he clenches his fist. He's like, okay, I'll go. Jeez, you didn't have to do all that. Yeah, like jeez. She walks up to Oric like, hey, come on, let's get out of here. Let's do this. And then he has another headache, and he gets some flashes of Odd in his head. And he's like, you know what? I just want to be alone real quick. And he walks off. She looks kind of mad, but now the time she looks actually pretty. She looks actually pretty. Sorry, I started stuttering. I had to cough real quick. Sorry for those ladies up there. What was I saying? Oh yeah, he was like, you know what, I just want to be alone right now. So he walks off. And then we cut to Yumi and Jeremy. They go to the infirmary to ask what happened to Oric. Dorothy's like, get out of here. It's an epidemic going on. Jim's in the bed, and that girl he just brought is in the bed, so they're not doing too hot. Yumi does ask to help her, like, can we just help? And she's like, you want to help me? Just get out my way. What is going on in the back? And yeah, sorry, I don't know, it was like tons of noise going on in the back. I don't know what that was. Um, what was it? Oh yeah, Yumi does offer to see like, hey, can we just help you? And she's like, you want to help me? Get out my way. Okay. Yeah, like, anyway, they walk out the infirmary. Jeremy is still kind of confused about what could happen. So I guess he does have amnesia because odd he runs in there. He was like, yeah, he has amnesia. He didn't remember us. I really thought he was gonna slug me for a second. Jeremy's like, man, you can't like catch amnesia. That's not contagious. Like, what is going on? And he didn't like hit his head or nothing. And then Odd is like, well, it's not like a microscopic doctor we could have to check out his brain. Feel like microscopic. That's it. And then they go back to the science room, and he looks at the little scanner, and remember that gel he had, and puts his head into it. He looks at the gel, puts it under a microscope, and he zooms in. There's these little micro doctor bugs that Mrs. Hirsch was talking about, and they have the Xana symbol on there. And Jeremy obviously deduces that Xana is controlling these now, so the tower must be activated, and these little things can attack memory cells in your head. It's affecting everybody around school. But sooner or later, it's going to be us. And they're like kind of terrified, like, wow, this is crazy. Xana can like affect your memory cells. You'll forget your stuff. And then basically, it's a world Xana can control, a world of our memory. While they were talking, Yumi goes, a world under Xana's control, and it zooms in on her mouth. So I guess they were trying to do that to make it dramatic, like like oh no, the zombie apocalypse, but you see like the tenseness and the seriousness of someone's mouth. Like, I guess they were trying to do that. It was just funny because like it was just funny. I was like, yo, why? Yeah, that's a little bit. I don't know why. Because at first I was like, why are they zooming in on Yumi's mouth like this? Like, what are they? I was like, what are they doing? Why are they zoomed in? Anyway, when they go to the factory, Odd he does ask, so we need to bring work with us. And then German's like, nah, he lost his memory. He's not really good use to us right now. He don't even know what to do on Lyoko and stuff. And Yumi's like, yeah, Jeremy's right. The best thing to do now is to deactivate that tower so we can reverse time, bring him back to his senses. And then we cut to Oric. He meets some dude in the hallway. He asks him where his rooms are. I mean, not room. He asks him where his room is. He tells him where he's at. He goes in the room. Kiwi's in there. He's like, huh, I don't really remember you, but you seem to like me really well. He pecks him. Kiwi walks to the side, and he walks over to a desk in his room, and he picks up a picture, and it's just Yumi, Odd, Oric, and Jeremy just chilling. That's the squad right there. This is a nice picture. I know if you get to see when this picture was taken. This is a really nice picture. They're just all happy together. That's the group right there. I'm so good. Here it is. Don't know who took the picture, but they don't really have a fit with the group. Maybe they just put the camera somewhere and they, like, put on a timer. I think the camera, yeah, because sometimes the camera doesn't look too good when I, like, just before I press record or while I'm recording. Then when I start moving, it gets bright and looks nice like this. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I guess, if I just turn it around and just show you guys, it's gonna look nice no matter how bright it is. Maybe the brightness affects it, like I think it does. But the light puts that bulb up there, so I want to block it. But I'm moving, so it makes it even brighter because I'm moving, and then you can't see the screen. So sometimes when I show you whatever's happening on the screen, it just doesn't show up, which kind of sucks, real bad. Anyway, we cut the. Oh no, we were still with war. We don't cut. Anyway, yeah, we cut the orc, and well, it's not we cut. We moved so long. Anyway, we're with Orc, and he's outside now. And he looks outside, and there's just tons of students all over the ground, passed out. And we see the principal walk past them, just all like he's out of breath, like he just can't do it no more. And then his head starts to hurt again, and he gets some flashes of Yumi. And he's like, oh, what is going on? And then we cut the odd, Jeremy and Yumi. Sorry, it's like a Pacific word, always saying. We cut the odd Yumi and Jeremy going in the sewer, getting a skateboard and scooter, riding along, going up the ladder, going into the elevator, swinging on the rope to get to the elevator, going across the bridge. going across the bridge. At the same time, we do cut to Oric. He's in the sewer, like not like right behind him, but like a couple feet behind him, to where they can't notice each other. And by the time he gets to the ladder, he gets some flashes in his head about that one episode. Like it was like literally like 2 or 3 episodes ago, where the a swarm attack where all the wasps were control of the wasp. And Jeremy had the he had the machine to like get the wasp away, but it like died midway. Him climbing up, and he was like, "What happened?" Oh, dead battery. Dead what? Dead battery. Dead what? It will be cut to Yumi and Odd. They get virtualized, and then, I don't know why it was just funny. It was just funny to me because they get virtualized like I don't know, like 30 feet away from Alita. But last episode, Jeremy literally teleported them right next to her. So and when they teleport them in the ice sector, and they land. I don't know why this was funny to me. Like Jeremy is like, okay, just take the path to your right. And I'm like, okay. And then the camera pans out to where that was the only. It's not to the right. It's literally forward, and that was the only path. It's like behind me is just a giant ice wall, and behind that is ocean. And the only path to go is forward, because that's like a hole in the wall forward. Other than that, it's just an ice wall around it. The whole background's an ice wall. Only way for me to go is forward. But Jeremy was like, oh, take the path right, like there were other pathways to go. And he talks to Alita. Alita, she was like instantly on the money. She was ready to go. As soon as he says, "Yo, Alita, I'm here. I didn't find nothing in the forest sector or the mountain sector. I'm in the ice sector." Like instantly. Now, no questions asked. No questions asked. Okay. Alita's honest. She already knows. She already knows there's a tower, but she can't find the positions, and she knows how in the forest or mountain sector. I'm okay, Alita. Okay, I got you. I got you. Anyway, this was hilarious. So Odd and Yumi are running in the little tunnel they just went in. Anyway, Odd, he runs out the tunnel and he runs forward. He says, "Watch out." And right behind him is Yumi. So Yumi runs right behind him, like maybe a few feet behind. And as soon as she gets to it, you hear "watch out," and you see her get shot, and just she flies like 5 feet that way. That had me laughing. Look at this. So he's gonna run out first. Nothing happens to him. Then he yells, "Watch out," and then she gets shot. Running, "Watch out." No. I was like, okay, you mean defense. That was pretty quick. Like, as soon as you get out, "Watch out." What? Like, I don't know how you supposed to, you have to have some fast reactions to, like, to dodge that. Like, everybody has that quick reaction speed. Anyway, she gets up and she's like, "Oh, shoot." And Joe, like, "You just lost 20 life points from that one shot, and it's a crab." Like, you saw, it's a crab, man. Like, literally, it's like almost every episode is like Crab City. like just about every episode almost it's a crab. It's a crab. Like, look at all the episodes so far that I reviewed. It's just Crab City. Like, Xana loves him some crabs. Like, we barely see the roasters. Lost, they were in like back-to-back episodes for like a minute. But other than that, it's like Crab City almost every episode. Xana loves him some crabs, man. Anyway, Yumi, she hides behind a pillar of ice and she's like, "Okay, I can't find my red one. I gotta find I don't know what happened to my red fan. I just can't find it for some reason. But until then, gotta use this one. But the red one was a bit more like the one Yumi get, kind of. So, Anyway, Yumi's like, "Okay, let's do this." And then we cut the orc and he finds his way to the factory. Well, yeah, obviously, he's climbing up the ladder to the factory. Anyway, so he's in the factory. And he goes in the elevator and he gets some more flashes in his head. And he remembers exactly at the time that Jeremy stops the elevator. He remembers a little cold. Yeah, okay, it was confusing because what was it? He remembers the exact time Jeremy stops the elevator to go into the lab room where the computer is. And so he presses the button and he walks in and he's like, "Whoa, what is this place?" And Jeremy's like, "Work? What the? Yeah, well, you're here now. You can just go to Lyoko." But right after he gets the flash memory of him pressing the button to stop where the stop where the computer room is, he also gets another flash of Jeremy opening the button where he pressed and types in something. I thought he was gonna type in something, but that was just for nothing. That was literally just for nothing. They show that. Anyway, Yumi's hiding behind the ice pillar. We cut to Yumi hiding behind the ice pillar. It shoots and it goes around the ice pillar, and Yumi's gone. The crab is like, what the? Then you hear, hey, I'm up here. The crab looks up and she's on top of it now. She jumps down, and throws her fan, and then boom, kills the crab. Good shot. You mean like I don't know why, but it showed it didn't hit him at all. Okay. Anyway, she tells him what an ice and Jeremy tells him where Alita is, and and Oric's coming too. I goes, you know what? I'll wait for Oric here. You go ahead to Alita. Okay. Then he virtualized Oric. As soon as Oric gets there, he lands on his back. He just falls. Because, they usually land on their feet because obviously, he got his memory. He's like, hey, what's up? He's obviously Oric's like, where am I? I'm Lyoko. What is that? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna teach you how to fight. Okay? And he jumps over to him, tail swipes him, then he jumps back to like, come on. Come over here, come on, let's train. I'm gonna train you real quick. And we cut to our leader. We keep cutting back and forth from Oric and Odd, like, well, I guess fighting, but it's really just Oric just going, like, doing some swipes. Odd keeps dodging, and Oric's like, hey, who are you just dodging me? Yeah, I know, I don't want to hurt you. And he's like, oh, yeah, okay. And he keeps swiping at him, and he's like, do you have a weapon? Yeah, I got arrows, but, I don't want to use them now. Let's just keep practicing. And then we cut to our leader and Yumi running up to the tower. And when they get to the tower, it's 4 crowd. Like, they get to the tower and they see it right there, and they're like, okay, and there it goes. But this is kind of too easy. And then just 2 crabs manifest right in front of them. So they try to run back, and there's 2 more crabs. I'm like, it's Crab City. It's Crab City, man. Xena loves this crab. Anyway, obviously it's 4 against 1. That is a lot of pressure. So it does. I thought Alita was trying to do something. So it does like a whole 360 shot around them, and Alita's like, okay, let's take out 2 of them. I'm like, what are you gonna do? But she just makes a wall, so 2 of them will get blocked off, and she does it really fast. Usually she has to get on her knees, puts her hands together like she's praying, and then she sings, oh, and then she does whatever to the landscape. But she just stands up and does it instantly. What? Ice wall. I'm like, okay. But look at it. It was like a 360 shot. And Alita's like, let's take out 2 of them. I'm like, okay. Instantly, man. Instantly. I'm like, okay. I thought Alita was going to go off or something. I thought she was going to go off or something, man. Let's take out 2 of them. Okay. Anyway, Yumi, she throws her fan at 1. Oops. My bad, I was getting too excited. She throws her fan at 1 of them, but it dodges it. It was kind of funny because they never all that nimble, but it dodges it. And then she misses and she gets shot again. And Yumi's like, yo, you only got a few life points left. You need to stop playing around. Gotta bring up the orc sword real quick. I wish I had a prop for On, but he just does this, so you don't really need a prop. I gotta get that. Okay, so anyway, this is what happens right before I forget. Okay, here we go. So this is what happens. Yumi, she's fighting these 2 crabs by herself, and it's kind of hard for her. And I gotta free up space, so I gotta hurry this episode up. So she has to take out 2 crabs. It's kind of hard for her. And Odd and Oric finally catches up. There's one little scene where literally Oric jumps and tackles him, and he's like, I won. And Odd's like, okay, but we gotta fight these now. He's like, okay, let's do it. Oric, he instantly jumps on the back of one of them and tries to stab it in the eye. But the crab starts to move and it throws Oric off, but then he dodges it. And then Yumi, I don't know why, but so it starts to, the crab that Oric's fighting starts to shoot a ton of lasers. Oh yeah, Yumi takes out 1 crab. I forget. Yumi takes out 1 crab. It starts to shoot a ton of lasers, and Oric starts to dodge them and block them. And then Yumi's like, Oric, and then it kills it. Like the other crab that was on the side of Yumi, it just kills it. I'm like, why are you worrying about Oric? Like literally, he was literally dodging and running away from the lasers. Easy, like it was nothing. So I don't know why you were like, okay, if he got shot, then yeah, obviously you would have been worried about him. But I don't know why she just started spazzing about it. But yes, anyways, just whatever. Anyway, Oric's like, hey, what happened to her? Because she got devirtualized. And I was like, hey, it's okay. We really just gotta protect her. And a crab starts to walk up on Alita. Orc runs over there and cuts off the legs, and it falls. Well, cuts off two of the legs, and it falls over. Before it falls off of the bridge, he brings out his sword and just stabs it right there, and then it explodes. And the explosion almost knocks him off the bridge into the digital sea. But he like does this. He's like, oh, okay. And it was a funny scene when Yumi walks into the lab, and Yumi looks at the computer. She's like, wow, thank goodness his memory's back. And Jimmy's like, memory? Oh no, I still got amnesia. What? She's like, what? Are you serious? And then Oric and I take out the last crab together, where he does impact. I was kind of like, it's a really quick scene where they both jump up to the crab and they go laser arrow, boom, and then Oric he does impact, but it's like a really quick. He says it goes so quick he might miss it, but he says impact, so he knows how to do that move even with a move. Okay, that was pretty cool. Now that was really dope. Oh yeah, Odd. I forget about Odd. Odd because okay. So Yumi there's four. Yumi takes out one, Ori takes out one. Then Odd takes out one. They're all four in this episode. Like the episodes where they're all on Lyoko are really far and few between. Like there's not a lot of episodes in season one where they're all on Lyoko. Anyway, Odd, he's like, okay, and he does this with his hand, and then an arrow comes out, swirls around, and hits him on the head. I'm like, ooh, okay, I'm trying to get it for you. Here it is. Ugh, it like swirls around, boom. I'm like, oh snap, that was wild. And oh yeah, I didn't really get this. I think it was supposed to be a joke. Alita starts to run into the tower, and then Ori's like, "Is she leaving?" And Jeremy's like, "Well, not exactly. It's had a total recall." I mean, I don't really get what that joke was supposed to mean. But anyway, Oric and Odd both take out the last crab together, and I'm gonna tell this. So let me just say the rest of the episode before the camera cuts out. And in the last part of the episode, after they do reverse the time, we cut back to Mrs. Hertz's room. It's the exact same thing. She talks about the little nanite doctors. Sissy makes a joke, everybody laugh at her. She asks Oric to take a sample. He does this, and instead of Odd putting his head into it, he goes, it kind of looks like jelly. You know what? Let's cook it. And he walks over to like this little furnace of it looks like this little mini furnace thing on the table. It's spewing out fire. He walks over to it, burns it, then he drops it. And obviously Mrs. Hertz spazzes at him for like damaging school property. So she said, I'm gonna give you a punishment you'll never forget. Then he goes, I sure hope not, Mrs. Hertz. I sure hope not. And then the whole class, like, I can understand why Odd and Jeremy start to laugh, because, you know, this whole thing with Amnesia. I don't know why the rest of the class starts laughing. they don't really get the joke, what's going on, and then that's the end of the episode, I guess, but, okay, so I got time to show y'all the team attack they do on the crab. Oh, man, here it is. That's a pretty cool frame right there. Impact. And they both take out that last crab. And then Jeremy, he goes, wow, y'all an amazing tag team. Y'all amazing tag team. Yeah, that was good. And then, you know, reverse time, like I said, exact same thing. I sure hope not, Mrs. Hertz. I sure hope not. And the whole class starts to laugh. Don't know why. But since this is Code Lyoko week, I'm going to try to do one more episode this week. I want to do it on September 3rd, since that's the first episode that came out. But if I do that, that's 4 videos back to back. Whew, and 2 of those videos are gonna be an hour long. The Shang-Chi's gonna take an hour. That's definitely gonna take an hour. And then my One Piece gonna take an hour. Then My Hero. Then this, like yo, that's gonna. I might have to take a 2-day break. Do 4 things back to back to back. Like geez Louise. Whew. But okay. Like, share, and subscribe. I see you all later. I thank you all for watching. I thank you all out there being wonderful and beautiful and handsome human beings. See you guys next time. Bye bye. Oh yeah, I completely forgot to say, but when Oric went to go kill that but right before he chopped off the legs and killed that one crab, you know, he was like, what happened to Yumi? What happened to the girl? And all of it, you know, she's okay. You really gotta protect her. He's pointing at Lyoko, obviously. And before he cut off the legs of the crab and killed it, I remember he was like this with his sword, like he did a couple twist movements, then grabbed it like this, and he ran over there and just you know cut off the legs and then killed it like I said. It was just kind of cool how he like, so like on my old TV, like I can do that instantly and catch it, And I got this big nice one. I just get nervous, so you know I don't mess it up. But I can do a couple of twist movements, and you know make sure I don't leave my hand. It's only when I start going crazy with it, that's when I lose control. It'd be funny. Yeah, that'd be hilarious. That's how the video ends. I'm like, uh oh, boom.